How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's games under $20 sale as well as the Mega March sale are wrapping up here soon. I want to take a look at some of the games that, not putting any budget constraints, so a little bit more on the expensive side, but some of these games are still at very good price points. Now, both these sales are ending tomorrow. How it works is they'll run all day tomorrow, and then I believe at 3 a.m. Pacific time, March 31st, that's when the deals will officially be gone. So this is kind of like the final video on it. I've heard rumblings of like a spring sale that's gonna be happening. I, for some reason, thought that Golden Week was coming up and there would be a Golden Week sale. That's in early May. Completely got that messed up. But, yeah, we'll take a look at 10 deals or a couple deals. I think there's 11 deals here, actually. So let's just get right into it. I want to start things off with Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. The Deluxe Edition is $12.74. That's 85% off. Now, typically the base game, when it does go on sale, it goes down to like $9, so you're paying a little bit more for the Deluxe Edition. It includes some in-game content and some DLC and things like that. Nothing too crazy, but Ace Combat 7 itself is a very, very good game. Unfortunately, back when it came out, like January of 2019, it came out like right before the Resident Evil 2 remake and Kingdom Hearts 3, so timing-wise, wasn't the greatest thing. I believe the game did pretty well from a commercial standpoint. Excellent music in the game. I feel like as far as soundtrack goes, Ace Combat is one of those franchises that does not get its just due for how great of a soundtrack it has. It's a fantastic soundtrack. Gameplay solid. Story isn't anything too compelling, a little over the top, but $12.74 for Ace Combat 7 I think is a great deal. Fun action flight title. Hopefully we see another title in the Ace Combat franchise here sooner rather than later. Next up, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, 50% off for $19.99. DMC5 is awesome. It's just a fantastic action title with another game with a great soundtrack, but fast-paced action gameplay. Yeah, the Platinum Trophy's a bit difficult to get, but the DMC5 Special Edition also does upgrade the performance. This is on PS5 only, so bear that in mind. There is a Devil May Cry 5 and Virgil bundle. That's 50% off for $15 if you have a PS4. Get that, but the Special Edition is on PS5. You have a variety of different performance modes, and this game runs incredibly well, especially on the PS5. Visually, it looks fine. You know, the Devil May Cry story, it was never something that really did hook me, so, you know, your mileage may vary on that, but overall, I really enjoyed it as an action title. $19.99 for the game, I think, is great. Next up, we have the Yakuza collections. Want to recommend both of them. So if you're just getting into the Yakuza franchise, Yakuza Origins, the digital bundle, is going to be the route you want to go. That comes with Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Of course, Kiwami 1 and 2 are remasters, remakes, however you want to consider it, of Yakuza 1 and 2. Origins is Yakuza 0 is essentially a prequel to Yakuza 1. All three games are very good. They have a ton of content. Like, Yakuza as a franchise, if you want to embark in playing all of them, it is a daunting task, and if you want to play them sequentially, like, all at the same time, yeah, clear the calendar for a little while. Even if you rush through the games and, you know, ignore a lot of the side content, to go from Yakuza 0 to, let's say, Yakuza 6, that's gonna take a sizable amount of time. And, you know, value-wise, it's definitely worth it. So that's $17.49. The Yakuza Remastered Collection, on the other hand, that's Yakuza 3, 4, and 5, and that's $15. So, you know, people will have their opinion on which Yakuza title is their favorite. I think most people would agree that Yakuza 0 is fantastic and a great starting point. You know, lack of English voiceovers, you know, that's a bummer, but it is what it is as far as that's concerned. The games are still very good. Fun beat-em-ups, quirky gameplay at times, but a lot of variety in the gameplay as well. So, yeah, definitely go check those games out. Next up, we have Spyro Reignited Trilogy, 65% off for $14. This is obviously a franchise that I am incredibly nostalgic with. When I got my PlayStation 1, like, I don't remember exactly the first games I got, but two of the first games I remember playing, Mega Man X4 and Spyro Ripto's Rage. And those games really are nostalgic for me, Spyro especially, and back in the day, I didn't have a memory card. I didn't even comprehend what a memory card was, so it was just like one death and you're gone, but yeah, those days are wild. But the Spyro Reignited Trilogy is a fantastic remake of the 3 Spyro games from the PlayStation 1 era. The games look fantastic, and it's a remake done really well. $14 for the collection, I think, is a pretty good price. This is one that's held up in price for quite a while, so yeah, even if you weren't a Spyro fan growing up, they're good platforming titles, platform action, however you want to describe it, and yeah, very charming games. $14, I think, is a great buy for that. Next up, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is 67% off for $13.19. You guys know that I love the Tomb Raider games since the reboots. I think they have been fantastic. Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider is my favorite, which is also on sale for $6. Shadow of the Tomb Raider had some issues from a narrative standpoint, but the Definitive Edition really makes it quite a bit better in the sense that I remember when this game was coming out and I was like, whoa, when Square Enix laid out their DLC plan for the game, yeah, no moss for me on that one, but the Definitive Edition includes all the DLC, so you're getting all that right away. $13.19. It's a great game. I would play Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider first. There is an SOTR demo available as well if you do want to check that out, feel free. But $13.19 for this game is a pretty good deal for the Definitive Edition. Next up, Valkyria Chronicles Remastered and Valkyria Chronicles for the bundle. 65% off for $14. I mentioned, I believe, VC1 in one of these videos covering the sales. This bundle is great. I also saw a comment of somebody asking about what order they should play the Valkyria Chronicles games. Well, it's an issue because Valkyria Chronicles, you should play them sequentially if possible, but Valkyria Chronicles 2 is only on the PSP, which, by the way, Spartacus, that's a good game you should add. Valkyria Chronicles 3 is also only on the PSP, but it never even came stateside. There's a fan translation online, and that game is probably my favorite game in the entire franchise. I loved Valkyria Chronicles 3. It has a very dark story, and, you know, no point really getting into it because you'll never play. A lot of you guys won't play, but Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4 are both excellent as well, and you can jump into each of these games, no problem, and you'll enjoy the story. There's some connections here and there, but you'll enjoy all of the games. Valkyria Chronicles 1 is fantastic, and Valkyria Chronicles 4 really just follows the same style and keeps a lot of the elements intact, adds a couple things, but yeah, both games are fantastic. Very good tactics-based gameplay, very good stories, and games that are engaging to those of you that aren't a big fan of Japanese RPGs. They're just emotional war stories that, you know, anybody can really get into. It's not, you know, relying on a lot of Japanese tropes, so to speak, so yeah, I would check these out at $14. I think both are really good. Quite a bit of content across the two games as well. Next up, we have Bloodborne Complete Edition, 50% off for $17.49. I think this is the best game from Software. I know that might be a little bit of a controversial opinion with Elden Ring out now, but Bloodborne is a game that I just loved. I love the setting, I love the look, the soundtrack. Those elements really hit home. The unfortunate thing is, from a performance standpoint with those games, I don't know why it's taking so long to get an upgraded version. Bloodborne at this point would be a license to print money. I think Sony knows that, and eventually we will get that. But yeah, the game's fantastic. It's just performance issues do hold it back, comparatively speaking, to some of the other titles, especially if you play them on PC, and Elden Ring on PS5 runs relatively well. This also includes the DLC, so that's quite nice. $17.50 is kind of pricey, but in my opinion, Bloodborne was a elite tier game, so at $17.50 I would still say it's a very good pickup. Next up, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, 60% off for $24. Fantastic deal. Mass Effect 1, obviously I mentioned it before, but still shows its age a little bit. Came out in 2007. They did what they could to refine the game. Still does show its age, but still a relatively enjoyable game. Mass Effect 2, in my opinion, one of the greatest games of all time. I think that game really just hit every area and did a really good job. The story's fantastic, character development, gameplay is solid. Gameplay is the biggest improvement over Mass Effect 1, and it shines in ME2. Mass Effect 3, you know, I still think it's very good. People have what they want to say about the ending, but overall, I think the game is rather good. $24 for all three is solid. It is included with EA Play, so if you want to sign up for that, feel free as well. Lastly, do want to give a shout to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is 50% off for $29.99. This was one of the surprisingly fantastic games of 2021. I remember going into this game, a lot of people, myself included, had a little bit of, you know, some reservations as far as how good this game was going to be, but man, they killed it with this game. The narrative is very strong, the voice acting is great, the storytelling, character development, all those elements are really solid, and you have to remember, I'm not a big Marvel guy. Like, bro, I watched the new Spider-Man movie, and I wasn't getting a lot of the references in that movie. Love the movie, but yeah, that's how casual I am when it comes to Marvel content, and I loved Guardians of the Galaxy. I know some people weren't as hot on the gameplay. I thought the gameplay was rather good, except towards the end where it just got like, yo, let's just throw as many enemies as we can at the players. I feel like some games do that, and I felt Guardians of the Galaxy kind of did that towards the end. The game is relatively lengthy too for a single-player story-based game. You're gonna get a decent amount of gameplay, some replayability with the decision-making. It's not like the decision-making makes a gargantuan amount of difference to the game, but yeah, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was great. $30 might be a little bit pricey. You know, if you want to wait a little bit longer for it to get, you know, sub $20, sure, but I think it's well worth the price of 30, and I really enjoyed the game, so I wanted to give that a shout as well. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, a ton of great games at great prices with these sales. They're ending tomorrow. I would imagine a new store sale would be kicking off tomorrow. That's usually what they do. Before the current sales end, they'll just roll out the next one. Or if not, it'll definitely be Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully a big sale, because last week, one of those rare weeks where there was no new PlayStation Store sales, and that very rarely happens. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.